Hey everyone. Hello, hello. Heather here with Boost You. Today we are going to be talking about how to budget time and money for scalability or for scaling your business. Or for a scalable business, I should say. I guess, is it all the same thing? I'm not sure. A scalable business, you need to start with that strong foundation. So if you are a service-based entrepreneur who is interested in bundling your value, that means taking your knowledge, your wisdom, and expertise and bundling it so you can charge a premium for it. Anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000 is the typical price range for most service-based business owners that are or experts or therapists, coaches, whatever. If you're offering a service, most likely it can be bundled. You can take your knowledge, your wisdom, your expertise and bundle it. So if that's you, stick around. And thanks, Larnie. Awesome. Because we are going to be diving into this today, how to budget time and money for a scalable business. So yeah, welcome. If you're new here, I'm Heather Blaze. This is what I do. I help entrepreneurs, service-based entrepreneurs, set up their business system so that they can have time and money freedom to do what they love to do. And that's part of it. Part of it is bundling that value to charge a premium, and a way to do it where people are eager to pay it. Oh, hey, Peggy. Yay. I'm so happy I get to see all, the comments now. I think we got the new app down. We had some technical difficulties the first time around, but now it's working. And oh, cool. And Arid is here. Awesome. Hi, ladies. So yeah, if you've got any questions throughout, feel free to drop them in the comments here, and I will do my best to get to them. If you're watching live, if you wouldn't mind putting in the comments hashtag live, and if you're watching the replay, go ahead and put hashtag replay, and that way we can see it. But let's dive in. Let's dive into how to budget time and money for a scalable business. So if you are a service-based entrepreneur, like I said, and you are aiming at hitting 6 to 7 figures annually, a big decision to make is, what do you do with your money and your time? So if you make good decisions at an early stage of your business about where to invest, then you would do great. And I don't want you to run out of money or time, and that's why I'm sharing this with you today. So let's dive into how to build and budget for a 6 and 7 figure service-based business. Okay. And it can scale higher than that, but this is when I talk to hundreds and hundreds of people, and this seems to be about at least the starting point. People want to make about 6 to 7 figures. So anyway, take it from me. The single biggest cost in your business is actually the money you're not making. Okay. And what I mean here is, take, for example, if you're making, let's say, 5,000 a month, which, it's pretty decent, but your goal is to make 40,000 a month. That means you'd be leaving about 35,000 a month, or almost $500,000 annually, right? And on the table, right? And this is happening because you don't want to spend maybe money on advertising or a mentor with a proven system and a strategy, because you don't want to spend too much money in the first place. Okay, that could be the reason. But the thing is that the money that you'll spend on those things, so that you could scale your business quickly, or so that you can set it up properly to get the right people finding you, calling you, and paying you, to scale that business properly, will be pretty small, okay, compared to what you are leaving on the table if you're not hitting your income goals, right? So if a mentor costs, let's say, 10 grand, or even 20 grand to invest in, to help you set your business up properly, and your goal is 35 grand a month, I mean, you're going to be paying back that. You're going to get your return on investment, your ROI, within a month, right? By the time, once it's all set up and getting that income, right? So look at ROI, right? And look at the money that you're leaving on the table by not being set up properly to get the right people finding you, calling you, and paying you as quickly as possible. Okay. Don't make that mistake, because, the money's out there if you just make the right decisions and you stay committed to your goals, right? The money that you spend on those things would be very small in comparison. Does that make sense? And so I'm also talking about high ticket services here, which means that for every client that walks through the door, you're charging, like I said, 5K, 8K, 10K. Okay. You're not selling like a $27 ebook, because if you are, then you'd need to get, if you wanted to get to, let's say 27K, then you'd need to sell 1,000 copies a month. Right. So it's a lot easier to get 3, 4, 5 clients than it is to get 1,000 things typically. Right. But with the huge ticket offer, right, if your price is at 5K, like I said, then you'll only need that few of clients to hit your income goals, right? 5 or 6 clients to hit 25 or 30K if you're priced at 5K. So now, because and you might be thinking like, are you kidding me? Like, there's no way I could charge that for what I offer. Like, how do you charge that? Most people are charging, some people are charging $60 an hour, $100 an hour. This is the calls that I get from people. I ask them, well, what are you charging right now? And there's a big bird. And a lot of the people are, they're just charging hours for dollars, right? And I talk about this in my 5 steps to getting high ticket clients masterclass. But anyway, there is always a way to bundle your value. Okay. You've got amazing knowledge, amazing wisdom, amazing expertise, especially if you're transforming people's lives, right? Like if you're helping people lose weight, if you're helping them with relationships, if you're helping them with, wellness, health, anything really, any kind of service, there is a way to bundle it to increase the pricing. Okay. You can tack on so much value to create a high ticket offer. You just might not understand how right now, because you don't know what you don't know, right? Which is totally normal. And most people don't understand how to do that. But there is a way for most service-based entrepreneurs to do that. So get rid of that limiting belief of that wouldn't happen for me, because it can totally happen for you. But there's a way to do it, right? So anyway, I got off track. Let's see, what was I talking about? I lost my train of thought now. Because if you're focusing your energies on only 6 clients, let's say, okay, 6 clients at $5,000 instead of 1,000 clients, right, at $27, then you can offer real transformation by walking them through the process instead of merely supplying them with information. Okay, so this is why it's so important to have a strategy that allows you to command those premium prices. Because when you do, then you're just not making more money, but you also have more freedom, since you're working with less people and you're truly helping them get those results that they're after. Does that make sense? So type in the chat if that makes sense. And I'm just going to check and see if we've got any questions so far. Awesome. Thanks for typing in live. I appreciate that. So let's talk about how to budget your time. Okay. And then we'll move on to the money. So remember that time is something that you cannot get back, right? Like you can always make money, I always say, but you can't get your time back. Once that second is gone, once that minute is gone, once that week is gone, you're never getting it back. So I'm always like, seize the day, right? But you just can't make more time, right? So if you're using a strategy that might not have been expensive to learn, but it's demanding a lot of time from you, then that's not going to be a wise investment, because time is the most precious resource, right? It's the most precious resource we've got, because once it's lost, there's no gaining it back. So just learn the difference between being busy and being productive as quickly as possible. Okay. You want to be focused and using your time and energy on things that are going to bring you the biggest result the quickest, right? So it's like you can build a house if you're with your hands, or you can build a house with a hammer or screwdriver, right? Which is going to go faster. Probably be both pretty slow, but anyway, maybe that's not the best example. But if you can build a house, but you're not using that hammer or screwdriver, it's going to be pretty slow, right? It's not going to be efficient. It's not going to be effective, like using your hands to get that screw in versus using a hammer, right? Or sorry, nail. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. It's possible, but it'll definitely be harder and it will definitely take more time. Okay. So just like in business, if you're always thinking about what your next blog should be about, or who's going to be your next guest on your podcast, then you can be busy, but your bank account is going to be at a standstill because you're not focusing on implementing effectively to actually make sales, right? In order to make sales, you need people calling you. You need people getting in touch with you. You need them to be able to find you, to be able to call you, right? They need to have some sort of pathway to you. So realize this, right? When you learn to be productive instead of merely being busy, your income is going to grow exponentially along with that free time. Okay. The key is to focus on 20% of what you're doing that brings in about 80% of the results. Okay. Don't get lost in the busy work. Don't hide behind the busy work either, because that's another thing people tend to do, right? You can pat yourself on the back and just say, oh, I cleaned out my inbox today, or oh, I mapped out 3 months worth of content, yay. But the truth is, you're still nowhere near your desired outcome after doing this, right? Doing all that busy work. For a long period of time too, this can go on. And the reason you could be getting in that busy work is because they're easy and they're familiar and it's what you know, right? It's not scary at all. It's not uncomfortable. But if they're not getting you closer to your income goals quicker, or quickly, I should say, then it's obviously time to shift strategies, even if it's outside of your comfort zone. Okay. We always have big growth outside of our comfort zone. So with my clients, most of them start from scratch. A lot of them don't have anything to start with. And some of them do. Some of them have full on everything, all these pieces that they've put together and worked with other people. But because they were kind of just thrown in and not really held by the hand step by step to organize all these pieces, they were left to try and figure it all out. It doesn't work, right? Like things have to be put in a certain order, can't miss a step or it's not going to work, right? So with my clients, okay, even though they're starting from scratch or if they're starting from that place, there's definitely some tough hurdles to get through. Okay. And I understand it can be overwhelming too. So what I do is I take them by the hand and I walk them through the entire process that gets them from where they are, which is usually spinning their wheels, throwing stuff up on the wall to get to see what sticks, hoping, praying, guessing that they'll get a client to get them to that desired outcome. But then I walk them through that process so that they can get that predictable process and proven system set in place, right, on how to get clients on autopilot, right? How do we set up everything so it's a lot less time consuming, instead of, because a lot of people are out there like cold calling and doing all that kind of stuff. And it's very draining. It's a lot of work, right? What I teach my clients is strategy and system so that maybe 2 hours a week total, they have specific strategies, specific posts that they should be posting that actually get people reaching out and calling them. Okay. Does that make sense? So much more simple. And then I also might help my clients get over their fears and all that self-sabotage, because that's really what slows down the entire process for most entrepreneurs. Okay. What crushes people most of the time is that inability to follow through on a strategy, even if it's a really good one. Okay. And I don't want you to get lost in that busy work or in a strategy that takes forever. Because if you'll use an approach for your business, it just has to be one that works fast and gets you guaranteed results. Okay. Does that make sense? So let me just double check the comments here and make sure. Let's see. Yeah, makes sense. Awesome. Yes, blogging is a tremendous drain. Yeah, it's not saying your name. It just says Facebook user, but it is, right? And you shouldn't have to just be blogging, right? Like you could be just using your actual posts on your blog. You don't really have to create separate ones, right? But they have to be laid out in a certain way that gets people booking calls. Okay. If they're not booking calls, you're not doing it right. The message isn't resonating. It's just not laid out properly. The words that you're using aren't resonating with that ideal client that you want to be reaching out to you. There's a specific way to do it that gets them to reach out. So, if you use an approach for your business that doesn't work, one that doesn't work fast, right, is building an audience. That's one strategy that doesn't work fast. A lot of people think, oh, I've got to build this audience first. I got to build like hundreds or thousands of followers. I've got to do all this, right? And it could take years and years of nurturing your people while trying to reach 1 million followers on Instagram. And while you're at it, you'll need to create and post content that could also be really draining for some, right? If it's you're constantly posting content and doing TikToks and doing reels and doing this and doing that and blogging and like all this millions of different things, you don't have to be doing all that. There's 5 posts a week that altogether should take 2 hours at the most, and that's it, right? There's a way to do it, and that gets people booking calls. So I've got nothing against content marketing, of course, because I'm doing lives right here, right? Of course. But just making sure, like putting out valuable posts, okay? This isn't just to gain followers or subscribers, right? The last Facebook live I did, I got 3 calls, right? From people that saw it and they booked a call and they were like, okay, I want to work with you, right? So it's very strategic. I don't just talk about random things with no purpose and speak in a way that doesn't land with people. Okay. I do it to reach the right people who are ready to take action so that I can be of service to them. It's very strategic. And I come to it with a knowing, with a certainty, because I know what I'm doing. Right. And so that's the other thing that I teach my clients how to do. Like there's a way to do it, and in order to so it can go fast. Okay. But my business doesn't ride or die with how much content I share on a regular basis, or posting to a bunch of different platforms. It's just not necessary. Okay. My strategy is the one I teach my clients. It's simple. It's like add or post to a valuable free offer, to a phone call, enrolling a client. And I can tell you right now that this strategy works, and it works very fast. And I have clients enrolling within 24 to 48 hours after they've seen my post. Okay. That's it. So as they say, simplicity is the pathway to mastery. The simpler the strategy, the better chances you have at mastering it. So it's scalable and profitable. Okay. So that's what we're talking about here, is how to get those new clients consistently. You need a strategy that works fast. Make sense? So do you work with astrologers? Yes, I do. I have worked with a few astrologers. Yeah. So awesome. So that's on the marketing side. Okay. But how do you how do you also maximize your time when you're working with your clients too? Okay. So there's the marketing side of how to get the right people to find you, call you, and pay you. Then there's the delivery side of working with your clients. How do you deliver what you're offering in an effective way too? How do you serve your clients in the most efficient way possible? So for my business, I've seen that the best way is through an online group workshop. Okay. So we do a lot of group work, which is very powerful, but because everything I do is very customized and specific and tailored to each individual, I also need to have some one-on-one time with each of my clients. Okay. Because it's very specific. So this is where, I do group, but then there's also, I need that one-on-one time. Not everybody needs it, but a lot of people do. So there's a way to do it where you don't have to be working all the time. And that allows you to be your best self for others, to show up for them, and to be able to go really deep with your clients so that you can get them really great results. Okay. And so anyway, this is where you can deliver your service through maybe an 8 to 12 week program that's designed to take your clients from where they are right now to where they want to be around what you do. What results do you get for them? How much time do you specifically need with them? In order to get those results, how long does it take? Okay. So even yesterday I had a call with someone, and what does she do? She was a health coach. Okay. She's a health coach. But again, her messaging's way off. She doesn't have any automation. Nothing's working. Right. So she was like, what was my point now? I keep getting sidetracked. Let's see. Oh yeah. So she was thinking she needed 6 months to a year with someone, but after a 45-minute conversation, we were like, no, she could get results for people. And I think she said 6 weeks. So, and with a specific amount of time, and it wouldn't take her much time at all. So we broke that down in her breakthrough session that I offer. I offer free breakthrough sessions for people if they're interested in finding out how it can apply to what they do specifically. So if you're an astrologer, I don't know, it doesn't say your name here, but if you want to book a 45-minute free session, we can dive into what's working, what's not working in your business, where you want to go, and I can let you know whether it would work for you or not. It might not. It most likely will, though. And then like the best strategy that you would need to get you from where you are now to what you where you want to go. Anyway, so let's see. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. Well, I just gave you an example. I think that's a pretty good example. Is there any other example that I can think of? Or my own, right? Like I work with people for eight weeks. We meet once a week, okay, in a group session. But on that group session, I give as much one-on-one time as my clients need to ask me anything. And then I've got trainings. I've got all these systems set up where they can reach out to me at any time. I'll get back to them within 24 hours. If they've got questions for anything, they can submit it. I can review it and get back to them with feedback. What else? What else is there? And then we've got everything pretty much recorded, and everything is like fill in the blank. So it's very customized and specific to what they do. Okay. Does that make sense? So that allows me to, be in that 7-figure bracket and work 20 hours a week as a single mom. It's amazing, right? When you've got the system set up properly to get the right people finding you, calling you, and paying you consistently, you don't really have to work harder to scale. Okay. Does that make sense? You don't need to add that much more time for that many more people, and you can get amazing results. So anyway, the advantage here is you don't have to work one-on-one anymore. Okay. You're not trading time for money anymore. Your clients are going to get an even better outcome because they get to interact and learn from one another as well with that tribe, like I said. And, just the way it's set up, there's a way to do it for pretty much any type of business where you don't have to be trading that one-on-one time for money aspect, right? It's a model. It's a business model. And a lot of people just don't know any other way. Most people don't know any other way. Does that make sense? So let me just double check. Any more questions? Natasha. All right. Sounds good. So yeah, we're going to put the link at the end here so that you can book a call if you'd like. So, and let me know if you have any other questions too. So now let's go into how to budget your money. Okay. We've talked about time, the marketing, and the delivery, right? Those are two different pieces. Now let's talk about budgeting, how to budget your money. And this one is pretty simple. Okay. What should you be spending your money on at the beginning of your business? Okay. Or if it's not working too. I want you to prioritize two things: mentoring and advertising. Okay. And just as an important reminder, don't go into advertising like Facebook ads if you don't have an expert mentor who can walk you through it. Okay. I don't know if you're still on here. Orit was like, I'm going to run an ad. I'm like, wait, don't run the ad yet. I want to show you how to run it effectively because there's ways of doing it. Facebook teaches one way. If you're doing a high ticket offer, you don't want to do it the way Facebook does it because they're counting on cheap clicks. You don't want cheap clicks. You want quality leads. Okay. There's a difference. So if you don't have an expert mentor who can walk you through it, get one, because you got to invest in that before you start throwing money at it, because there's a certain amount of money that you have to look for. There's positioning, there's how to select proper images, how to do the copywriting effectively, how to set up the tracking, what to track to see if it's effective, audience selection. I mean, there's so much that goes into it that you need to know. You need to know what you're how to set it up properly, and then how to test things properly, and how to track things properly so you know when to kill it and not waste any more money, how long to look at it for. I mean, there's just so much that goes into it. Okay. So when I say invest in mentoring and invest in advertising, and maybe I'm going to do another Facebook Live on this too, as on Facebook ads, because I get a lot of calls of people like, I hate Facebook ads. They didn't work. Well, they didn't work because you didn't have the other stuff ahead of time, right? And you didn't know how to set it up properly most of the time. Okay. So anyway, I'm getting off track again. I do that a lot. If you're not investing in mentoring, you're kind of being silly a little bit. Okay. Sorry to say. And you're definitely wasting time and money. Okay. I can tell you right now, there are so many challenges and problems. That's the one guarantee about being an entrepreneur, is that you're always going to come up with challenges and problems. Okay. That you're going to run into while setting up your business. And having a mentor will just take all that guesswork out of how to get over it quickly, right? Out of what works and what doesn't work. And if you have a great tribe of people that are also doing the same thing, you can tap into that network too, right? So I've got my tribe that if I come across something, I can just quickly post it and I get an answer usually within 24 hours or a couple of days, right? It doesn't take long to get an answer. Whereas if you don't have that resource and you're scouring the internet for days on end trying to find an answer to something, and then that you find an answer, but maybe it doesn't go with what you're doing specifically, it just takes forever and it probably doesn't work. So anyway, if you're serious about building your empire, okay, whether it's a mini empire or a mega empire, then just get a mentor. Okay. A caution though, not all mentors are created equal. Okay. So when looking for one, this is what you got to look for. Okay. Check on these. Okay. This person has to have, let's see, let me think of how to word this. Ask yourself this. Okay. Has this person created the kind of outcomes that you want for yourself? Okay. That's number one. Number two, do the clients of this person have the kind of outcomes that you want? Right? Are they out there cold calling or having to like do Instagram reels and TikToks and all this stuff when you don't like doing that? Right? That's not a good strategy for you. Okay. If you like the strategy of like what I teach, right? Put a post and an ad to a valuable free offer, to a phone call, to enrolling a client. That might be, and it's all automated. That might be a better strategy that you might like better, right? So find somebody that does a strategy that you like, and are they getting those outcomes for other clients? Number three, have they been doing this and succeeding at it for a while? Okay, because I've had people call me too and like, oh, I joined this program and they were beta testing something and I didn't get any results. I'm like, okay, well, I've been doing this since 1996. I've been helping business owners succeed since 1996, over 20 years. That's a lot of time. I've seen it all, right? There has to be a proven strategy, not just plain luck. Okay. So, and this, it's like, it just has to be going. And someone else said they joined another program and then they changed it up after a few months, but it was a new thing. So make sure that they've been succeeding at that for a while. Okay. Number four is, does this person offer a great level of support? Okay. Those are really, really key things. And if the answer to all four of those is yes, then go ahead and work with that mentor. I did a great Facebook Live on this a few weeks ago about how to spot fake coaches. And we'll include the link to that here too after this is over. Okay. But don't spend any money on branding, a nice looking website, other people to do it for you, like advertising agencies or social media marketers that will do it for you. Because the problem with that, it's like building a house, right? Like building a business is like building a house. I say this all the time. So you need to follow a blueprint when you build a house, right? But you've got some idea of how to build a house. It needs a foundation, it needs framework, it needs walls, it needs a roof. And that's the same thing with business. A lot of people just go out and they're like, oh, I have an idea of what a business would take, right? They get certified in something, or they have an expertise in something, or they have something to offer, and they're like, I'm going to build a business around it, right? So the problem with that is like, the branding, the nice looking website, all that stuff is kind of like starting with the roof, right? It's not scalable. So you've got to have a lot of things, a really strong foundation, and then follow that blueprint in order to have everything put in the right order so you don't miss a step, right? Because otherwise it's just not going to work. Just like building a house without a blueprint. Doesn't work, right? You might be able to build something, but it's not going to feel very safe. You're not going to want to go in it and stay in it for very long, right? And then how do you figure out what's missing after the fact? So If you started on branding, if you started on a nice website, okay, there's a million websites. How does it stand out against the competition? How do you, what is it? What do you put on it, right? What do you put on it so it's effective, so it makes money? Okay. And I know I talk a lot about money, and some people have a thing with money, but the thing is you can't stay in business if you don't make money. So it's very important that you make money. Okay. And then just a quick point about hiring other people to do it for you. Like, I know I said invest in advertising and invest in a mentor, but if you go hire somebody to do the advertising for you, like an agency or a social media marketer, before you know how to get the results for yourself, you're not going to know what to delegate and follow up with them to ensure that they're going to get the results for you. Okay, so make sure you know how to get the results for yourself first. Then once you've got that money coming in and you know how to get the results, you know the strategies, you know how to set it up properly, then you can hire somebody to do it for you if you don't like doing it. I mean, it only takes a couple hours a week, but that's fine. I hire mine out now. I don't, 2 hours a week for me is 2 hours a week. It's an extra 2 hours a week I can play with my son. But my point is make sure you know how to get the results yourself first, and then delegate it if you don't like to do it. Okay. So these are all unnecessary steps. Okay. That branding and the website and all that kind of stuff. What matters is your strategy. Okay. I keep saying it over and over again, but think about if you want to become a doctor, for example, right? Going to school for 8 to 9 years would be a no-brainer, right? So you're not going to Google your way into having that MD after your name, because you know that you need to learn from the experts to be prepared for the responsibilities ahead. Make sense? So it's the same thing with setting up a business. Okay. No amount of YouTube videos can adequately prepare you for the challenges that you're going to encounter. So you just better get an expert mentor. Okay. Just go do it, because it'll save you so much time in the long run. It's not optional. Okay. So right now, think carefully. Okay. What is your level of commitment to your dream? Okay. I'm going to just take a sip of tea while you think about that. What is your level of commitment to that income goal that you set for yourself? And if you want, you can put it in the comments below here. Where are you at? What's your level of commitment to that desire to serve others? Okay. Knowing that what you're offering is valuable and could make other people's lives better. I'm just going to check the comments. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, awesome. The live is freezing. Yeah, I don't know if I think my internet connection might be compromised, but we're almost done anyway. So yeah, 100%, 1,000%, amazing, amazing, amazing. So that's it, right? I mean, that's what comes first. Like, how committed are you, right? Remember, invest in yourself, because the biggest cost in your business is the money that you're not making. That's the bottom line. Okay. So if you're looking for a strategy that works fast, then just type the word fast below, and I or someone from my team will get back to you with a DM. Okay. And once this is published, we'll also put a link there that you can book a call. Yeah, I offer free 45-minute session. What we do on there, it's called a breakthrough session. So a lot of people have a lot of breakthroughs. If you're not clear on who your specific target market might be, like your ideal client, your niche, we can get you clear on that. The exact price you should be charging for what you're offering, we'll figure out what that is too on the call. What else do we do? The best strategy to get you from where you are to where you want to go, as long as you're clear on where you want to go, what you want to create, and you're open about what's really happening, what's going on. Then I'm like a doctor, right? We can diagnose what's actually happening and what you actually need to get you to your outcome, your desired outcome. So yeah, I think, is there any other questions or comments before I wrap up here? Yeah. Awesome, Peggy. So cool. All right. I don't think I missed anything. So yeah, Natasha, if you just want to write fast in the comments, one of my team will get to you and set you up if you'd like to book one of those breakthrough sessions. But yeah, I hope this has been helpful for you. I'm here every Thursday, usually 3 p.m. Pacific time. But I'm traveling right now. I'm out in Florida. Oh, I just took a look at myself. I just finished a massage, so I've got like lines on my face. Anyway, whatever. You're not here to look at me. You're here for this information. So anyway, hopefully that's been helpful. And yeah, I'm usually doing lives every Thursday, usually at 3 p.m. Pacific time, because I'm traveling. We've changed the time up a little bit. So I'm here every week if you guys want to stop by. And I also have the Facebook group, the Business Growth Blueprint for high ticket offers that sell. You can come in there, and there's lots of tons and tons of valuable information in there as well. But yeah, if that is good, then you're in Florida too. Cool. Then that's all, folks. So I will see you next week. Thank you very much, and I will see you next week. Take care.